Horns up and welcome to a brand new episode of Headbanger's Kitchen. Did you guys miss me? Well, I'm sorry, I've been away for a few weeks and we've been uploading some bloopers and bonus footage of earlier episodes. Hope you guys have been watching and enjoying that. Well, today I'm going to be doing an amazing North African breakfast dish called Shakshuka. Shakshuka, that's a really fun thing to say. And I've got the boys from Dark Helm, a band based out of Pune. They play like a hybrid deathcore style of metal and I have them on the show today. So stick around, we're going to cook up some Shakshuka and interview Dark Helm. Let's go make Shakshuka. Shakshuka. Start by heating up some oil in a frying pan. Chop 2 medium onions or 1 large one and add it to the pan. Also add a couple of cloves of minced garlic. And I love garlic, so I've added quite a bit of it. And give your onions and garlic a good stir till they start to get nice and golden brown. Oh, and what do you call the vocalist of a North African metal band? Shakshuka Badnagar. Get it? Get it, Shakshuka? Now that the onions are nice and golden brown, it's time to move forward. Chop up some green, yellow and red peppers and add them to the pan. Season with salt and pepper and saute for 2 minutes. And don't be afraid if your onions get a little nice and dark brown. It's okay, just make sure they're not burnt. Add in about 200 grams of tinned tomatoes. You can also use fresh tomatoes or even tomato puree. Add in your spices, which are cumin powder, paprika, turmeric, cayenne pepper, sugar and chilli flakes. If you like it spicier, add more chilli flakes. Mix in those spices nicely. And if you like a little extra meaty flavor, add in a beef or a chicken stock cube instead of salt. It will be amazing. Add a dash of water and simmer for about 10 minutes. It's been cooking for 10 minutes and it's time to taste our sauce. It's good. Now we add our eggs. Make little wells in the sauce and drop the eggs into that. Season with some salt and pepper on top. Cover the pan and cook for a further 4 to 5 minutes depending on how you like your eggs. I think our shakshuka is done. Yep, that looks good. Now that the eggs are done, just crumble some feta cheese on top. Garnish with coriander and your shakshuka is ready. That smells good and looks delicious. And look at that lovely egg yolk. Perfect. और हमारा shakshuka तैयार है, which means the shakshuka is ready and we're going to wait for Dark Helm to come and taste it. Welcome back to Headbanger's Kitchen. I've got Mohanish and Varun from Dark Helm with me and they've driven all the way from Pune. How was the drive, guys?
Okay.
Yeah?
We had a lot of traffic on the way.
Oh, I can imagine. Alright, so you're here with a purpose. You're back. Dark Helm has returned from wherever you
hiatus.
Yeah, so tell me about that. Where did the band come from and why did it disappear and why are you back now?
So basically, you know how it goes in Pune. It's a college city and stuff, so people go back home or whatever. But with the previous lineup, the problem that we had was our guitarist, he left for the US to study, and our vocalist, he went to Australia to study. So we really had no lineup, you know, for nearly a year. We had no vocalist or guitarist, and plus the drummer also had to leave. So it was just me and Shubhrayu in the lineup. Then slowly we got our heads together, went to a lot of people, auditioned some of them, and then finally we have a lineup back now.
Alright, and what kind of keeps you going actually, to be really honest, because obviously lineup changes are difficult on any musician or any band, and you know, what sort of drives you to still keep the band going despite pretty much the entire band falling apart?
I don't know, man. It's just the dream, the dream with which we started the band. It's still there, and that's what's kept it together, And we find people who have a similar kind of outlook towards why we're making the music or whatever. So that's kept it together till now.
Okay, so you've just joined the band recently.
Yes.
So how did you guys meet and how did this happen?
So his other band, they used to jam at my jam place. I run a jam place in Pune. So they used to jam over there, and these guys, they had a couple of Megadeth covers that they used to do, and I saw him soloing, and I was like taken. I was like, this is it, this is a done deal. Yeah.
But before that, we met and we started drinking on, and he said, dude, I like your soloing. I said, cool, let's do this.
Nice. And so you guys have just returned. You have played, I think, one gig so far.
Yeah.
And you have actually taken on an initiative of organizing shows now in Pune called Reverse Scenario.
Right.
So what sort of has driven you to actually do this? Given that people have, metal gigs are not really a profitable venture.
Yes. So, see, I am trying to do something like from a long time. But it takes time and it takes experience to put up a gig, everything is going smooth and all. When I went to Pune, I tried doing a lot of gigs, but a lot of people told me that the scene is dead now, so nobody can take it and nobody can do this. So I just started it and I got this Harder of Title gig done over there, which was quite good for me. I got 400 turnout over there, and this was really amazing, and this is something that motivates me to go ahead, and then I started up with this Reverse Scenario. So 9th of Jan, that would be we are expecting some massive crowd there.
Yeah, the lineup is really, really good. It's got Gutslit, you got Undying coming down from Delhi. Have they ever played Pune apart from a weekend? I don't think so.
No.
So yeah, how feasible is it, especially for kids who look at all these gigs happening and they think, oh, it's all hunky dory, organizers are making money, bands are making money. How easy or hard is it to put up a gig in Pune?
Putting up the gig is it takes everything that you have, from your money to your a lot of sleepless nights and all your efforts. There you go. So there's no point expecting any kind of money when you're organizing or you are in a band or doing anything. There's no big money. Yes, you can get some meals and drinks for free. That's all that you can do initially. Maybe after 20 years from now, when we all are at that level so that we can get a lot of money out of it, then it's okay, but not now. There's no money.
And plus in Pune, the difference between Pune and Bombay is in Pune we have no metal venues as such. Right now we've tied up with Classic Rock Coffee Company, those guys, they are open to having metal shows over there, and that's why they've started the whole place. But other than Classic Rock, there's nothing else over there.
Well, Bombay also is very similar. We don't have metal venues. It's people taking up venues and trying to do a metal.
No, but in Pune, metal is not allowed at most venues.
Yeah, I think after last night's hard rock gig, I think it's been cancelled. But yeah, of course, we understand. It's the same situation across most of the country. Also, I noticed you have a Dark Helm. Is that a Dark Helm tattoo?
Yes, that's a Dark Helm tattoo.
So it's quite interesting that you've been in the band for how long now?
3 months.
So what possessed you to get a tattoo?
So that's what I got that so that we cannot take him out of the band ever.
Yeah. So you can it's more that's what passion is. I see it and I'm done with it. Okay, this is the final thing that I'm going to do. So that's how I started off with being a musician also. I took a decision randomly. I want to be a guitarist. I don't know if I have that talent or not, but yeah. So now over time, I know things were not that simple. But yeah.
Yeah, because that's quite a bit of commitment to put into,
That's there. There.
That's awesome, man. Okay, so let's go to a fan question. This comes from the vocalist of Bhayanak March, Sanit Revankar, and he asked, please ask Mohanish to when will he get his frets of his guitar fixed? So, what is the deal with your guitar frets and why are they all weird and why are people so obsessed with them?
I don't know why people are obsessed with them, but they're not weird, man. It actually serves a very logical purpose. So basically, you usually have on an 8th string, you usually have fan frets, and the whole concept of a fan fret is the longer your scale length is, the clearer the fundamental frequency rings out. But since I was shifting from a non-fan guitar and I've never played a fan fret, I wanted something that feels closer to a normal straight fret guitar, So I and Matthew came up. Matthew is Mr. Ethereal Guitars. So he and I came up with this idea. He actually forwarded me the idea that we have an exponential scale. The change in the scale length from the top string to the bottom string goes in an exponential scale. So that's why the frets are curved. So what that does is the lower, basically the higher pitched strings, that feels more of a straight fret guitar, and the top string is where the actual fan happens. So that gives me a feel closer to the normal, 8-string straight fret guitars.
That's interesting. And do you endorse these guitars?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. That's pretty cool. So for young musicians who are always curious, how do you go about getting an endorsement?
It's a lot of things, man. Firstly, having an album was the most important thing. We could forward it to him, to Ethereal Guitars, and he was interested in the Indian market. So a lot of things fell together at the right time. That is what happened. That's why we got the endorsement.
Yeah, and I think, when you guys came out with your first album also, it was done in a very professional manner.
Yeah.
But what was the thought process behind the band name and obviously the album as well? Because it has something to do with Persian mythology or Persian stories, and
the album, So the album is based on this Persian king called Cyrus the Great. The album is a concept album. It's part fact, part fiction. The fictionalized part of it is the time travel and all those fancy things, and the fact part of it is that Cyrus was one of the most benevolent leader the world has seen. He drafted the first bill of human rights and stuff. So we've taken those parts from history and added some masala to it and made a concept album. So yeah.
And what was the thought behind the name Dark Helm? Where does that stem from, or it's just
that just happened, man. Like we came up with a lot of metal names, and I think the least metal name was Dark Helm. Something that's more dramatic and all that. Basically, I like my music to be very dramatic, and has to have a theme and stuff like that. So Dark Helm sounded something that would go with that. So yeah.
Nice. So given the new lineup of the band, can we expect the same kind of sound that we had earlier with the band, or is it a completely new direction? What's on the cards?
It will be in a similar direction, but of course we have new, more than half the band is new, so we'll have more inputs coming in, and hopefully it's taking music to the next level. That's the way I see it. But yeah, it'll have the same direction.
Alright. And obviously the kind of genre that you play, deathcore, which is obviously a large influence in the music that you play, is very popular, but at the same time it's also very loathed by people. Like, I make a lot of sarcastic comments about Calcutta bands playing only deathcore, but all in good fun, of course. But what's your take on this whole thing? The whole explosion of this style of modern metal, and how do you react to any negativity that comes towards it?
See, honestly, in the international scene, deathcore is done with. You had deathcore at its peak around 5 years back, and now it's on the it's regressing. No, whatever. So it's on the
decline.
It's on the decline, and nowadays it's the whole gent scene coming up across the world. But that's fine, man. I really don't care about people hating on a genre or whatever. The same people who hated Slipknot when it was cool to hate Slipknot are all listening to Slipknot nowadays. So it's cool, man. It doesn't matter at all.
Alright, since we are a food show, let's talk a little bit about food.
Right.
So you mentioned to me that you had turned vegetarian.
Yeah.
So what made you turn vegetarian, and what do you eat and what don't you eat?
So what made me turn a vegetarian? That's a complex answer there. So it was a lot of things actually. One of the main things was that I don't really care for dependencies, and I used to love eating meat. I couldn't go a day without eating meat. I had to have at least one meal a day with meat in it. So that was something I needed to get rid of. Plus, I used to think that humans are carnivores, but then I read a paper that said that it's not like 100% sure that humans are carnivores. It's still being debated. So then that made me think, why do I need to eat meat? I don't. So, and then it was just a challenge for myself. If I can do it, I can do it. And it's worked out. 6 months.
But you eat eggs and dairy, you say?
Yeah.
Awesome, because I made something with eggs and it would be quite good. Alright. And what about you? What do you like? Do you like to eat meat? Are you a foodie?
Yeah, I am big time foodie.
So what's some of the favorite food that you like to eat?
I like mutton Rogan Josh. I love butter chicken. No matter where in the world I'm going, I have a fixed order for every restaurant that I face. It's butter chicken, that's it.
Oh man, I should have had you come and taste the bacon butter chicken then.
Yes, someday.
And I heard that you cook.
Yes, I do.
So what's your speciality?
I make some kind of, whatever I have in the kitchen, I put everything together and somehow it turns out very good. So but I use a lot of cheese and I use a lot of paprika, jalapeno and cream.
Alright. But if you were going to be executed tomorrow,
And I would go back to bacon, I guess. Yeah, for sure.
I love butter chicken.
yeah, well, that was a kind of obvious answer. So before we go and taste the shakshuka that I have made for you guys, what's the future hold for Dark Helm? What is the immediate plans as of now? Are we looking forward to a new album?
The new album, yeah, but maybe in the last end of 2016. But right now we are just getting at least a hour worth of set list ready to go out and play live. That's what we are concentrating on right now.
Alright. And are we going to see more shows being happening in Pune?
Yes, definitely. We're planning something for Feb again, so we're gonna announce another gig on 9th of January.
Awesome. So Pune Metalheads, you have a lot to look forward to, and make sure you keep attending the shows. Guys, let me get you the shakshuka.
Please do.
Yeah.
Let's get that shakshuka.
Shakshuka.
Alright. So guys, here's the shakshuka I've made. Dig in and tell me what you think.
Sure.
Let's eat.
It's like really awesome.
Yeah.
But I still don't remember the name.
Shakshuka.
Shakshuka. And this is some African.
Yeah, it's an African breakfast.
Yeah.
So it's like a tomato sauce with eggs. I mean, I think the Indian palate, it's quite something we would like.
It's close to
Yeah,
that.
it is.
It's got that masala vibe
Yeah.
to it.
Mm.
It's really nice, man.
Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed. So there you have it. Mohanish and Varun have given the shakshuka a thumbs up, and we'll see you on the next episode of Headbanger's Kitchen. Let's eat. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Headbanger's Kitchen. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Share it with your friends on Facebook, Twitter, and whatever other social media you use, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you like what we do, buy a t-shirt from redwolf.in and leave me a comment below and tell me which Indian band should I interview next, what dish should I create on the next episode. You tell me, and till next time, cheers and keep cooking.